I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title of tonight's show is Gearing Up. And that is because you could be gearing up or preparing to make a new start or a restart of something like a project that had been previously delayed. And believe me, you would be getting a lot of help from that right now. So this is a good time to gear up. And that's because right now there are 5 very strong planets out of the 10 in the heavens. And they're strong because they're at home in the sign they rule, or they're in their sign of exaltation. And that's because the sun has now moved into Leo, which it rules, and then Jupiter rules Sagittarius, Saturn rules Capricorn, Neptune rules Pisces, and today the moon is exalted in Taurus. So those are the 5 very strong planets right now, and they are strong for the good. They can really help you out. And then there are also 5 retrograde planets that are going backward on their orbit, covering ground they've already covered before. And that simply is an indication that they can be encouraging you to also go back and recheck things, maybe give something another try as you decide you may want to gear up for a new start or a restart. And on top of that, there are planets that are conjuncting each other. And when 2 planets conjunct each other, that means that within their orbits, they are both at almost the same degree. In other words, they can be within a 7-degree orb or even closer. And that's what's happening right now. Venus is in Cancer, but it is conjuncting Mercury, which is retrograde and has gone back into Cancer. And because Cancer rules the home and the family, it simply means that families could be getting sort of a second chance right now at something, or there can be some sort of a real estate deal that maybe could have a little better terms right now. So that's great. And then another pair of planets are that exalted moon and Uranus, which are exactly conjuncting each other in Taurus, a fixed financial sign. And so that means there can be some brilliant solution to a financial situation or problem, something that's sort of unusual, perhaps even very simple, but it really could be a stroke of genius and work out now. And then the third pair of planets that are conjuncting each other are that Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. And remember, they're both retrograde. And so that, since they're so close together, their strength is compounded. In other words, they're twice as strong. And that simply means that since they're retrograde, that there can be a lot of hard prep work or some sort of overdue, something you have to do over again in a large corporation or a government agency in order to get better results. So that, somebody's going to have to roll up their sleeves and do something over again. But if they want better results, they are going to get them, which is great. So that simply means there's just a lot of support right now if you want to gear up for a new start as well. Yet there can still be some challenges around. I'm not saying it's a perfect world. After all, the Sun and Mars in Leo are squaring that exalted moon and Uranus in Taurus. Ooh, that could lead to some financial upsets at times. But overall, despite the challenges, there are now more solutions than challenges. And that's because there are powerful trines of planets in the earth signs, the water signs, and the fire signs. There aren't any planets in the air signs at all. So for instance, a good solution could be a brilliant financial idea, and that is because that moon and Uranus in Taurus, a fixed financial sign, closely conjuncting each other, are trining Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, which are also closely conjuncting each other. And those 4 planets are trining the sign of Virgo. And so there's quite a bit of strength in the earth signs, good strength, And that simply means not only can a financial matter be resolved, but there could be a health matter that could turn out better, or also a problem that can be solved. And there can be businesses that once they do that work over, or they get in some good reworking of something, there could be much better results to show for it. And among the water signs, that Venus, remember, is conjuncting Mercury, which is retrograde right now in Cancer, and those two planets are trining Neptune, which is retrograde in Pisces, and the three of them are all trining the sign of Scorpio. And that simply means that an impostor certainly can be exposed right now, and soon justice will be done as more and more secrets or information are revealed. It also can mean that families can sort of start over now, get a second chance and start over, which would be very nice. And among the fire signs, that Sun and Mars in Leo are trining Jupiter in Sagittarius. And Mars is at 15 degrees in Leo, and Jupiter is at 15 degrees in Sagittarius. And they're all, those three planets are all trining the sign of Aries, which rules new beginnings. So there can be a legal matter, because remember, Sagittarius rules the courts. There can be a legal matter that needs to be reviewed right now. And after it is reviewed, it will be set right in one way or another. It will be set right. And there's also the possibility that a dynamic leader could just sort of emerge out of nowhere and want to do something that could initiate a new beginning, and hopefully it could be something like a peace treaty or a ceasefire and not a war. And so we could look forward to a positive solution there, if possible. And what that means is that this is a very good problem-solving time. And the reason why is that the good outweighs the bad. So that's going to be wonderful for you as you gear up for a new start or a restart right now. You really need to give it a try. And if your first solution doesn't work, try another one, because there's a lot of them out there right now. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, you have got some pretty positive planets trining your sun sign after all. The Sun, which rules Leo, and Mars there are trining your sun sign, and so is Jupiter in Sagittarius, and it rules Sagittarius. So you've got some wonderful support if you want to gear up for a new beginning, which I think you are doing, Aries, or you can be deciding to restart something. And for that reason, with the 5 retrograde planets, you may want to first go back and review some things that you had tried in the past and sort of decide what could work now and what can't, and go ahead and give something another try. You're really well aspected to succeed, even if it takes a little extra time, because there's going to be somebody around to help you, Aries, and they are going to have a lot of energy. Remember, your ruler, Mars, is now trine your sun. It has been squaring your sun for a while, which could have been very challenging, but now it's there to support you. So give something another try. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a unique time for you, and if anybody can come up with a brilliant new idea for a financial solution, it's you, Taurus, because today the exalted moon and Uranus are exactly conjuncting each other in your sign, and they're being trined by Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, which are conjuncting each other as well. So it can be that a long-range plan of yours can be working out if you put a little more work into it. You might have to redo something or do some extra prep work or prepare a little bit better for reaching a goal. But that's all right, because I'm sure you want better results, and that's how you could get them. And also there is the possibility that a health issue can clear up or be resolved now. Maybe you can make a somewhat brilliant decision about that as well. So this is a very good time for you to really concentrate on practical matters, Taurus, and on money matters, because you might be very pleasantly surprised. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, there aren't any planets in the air signs, and so there's nothing supporting your sign. But once again, your sign is surrounded by very good planets. Right behind your sun sign is that exalted moon and Uranus in Taurus. And remember, that can indicate a rather brilliant solution to some sort of financial dilemma right now. And so you could get a financial problem sort of solved in a unique way behind the scenes, Gemini. And it is aspected for success, so I hope you give that a try. But right ahead of your sign are Venus, which is conjuncting Mercury, your own ruler, in Cancer. So there is also the possibility that a family matter or people in your family can be getting a second chance about something, or they're deciding to start over. Or it can be that a move that you have been anticipating, if it had run into roadblocks, those could perhaps clear up right now, because something is aspected to work out better than you think right now. And it involves family or a move or a real estate issue. So even an ending in one way or another could work out very well for you right now, Gemini. So remember, if one solution doesn't work, another one will. So give them a try. All right, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, Venus is in your sign and it is conjuncting Mercury, which is retrograde right now. So it is a good idea for you to go back and reconsider some good idea that you had previously that perhaps didn't work out for one reason or another. It could have been a great idea, and it could be that, you know, the timing just wasn't right. Well, now maybe the timing is better. And that is because Venus and Mercury in your sign are trining Neptune in Pisces, which is also retrograde. So you could learn some additional information behind the scenes that would really help you gear up for some sort of new start or restart. Or there is the possibility that there could have been some money that has been delayed for a while. It might have been in connection with a real estate matter, but you could be learning about that right now, and that could be coming through. So that would offer a nice solution and an opportunity maybe for you or your family to start over, or to go through have a second chance at a reconciliation right now, or get better terms on a real estate matter. So you have that to anticipate, and that could all work out pretty well for you. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, the sun is in your sign. Finally, it's your ruler, Leo, and Mars is in your sign as well. So you can be supercharged right now, Leo. In fact, you could surprise yourself with how many good ideas and how much energy you have, because today that Mars at 15 degrees in your sign is precisely trine Jupiter in Sagittarius, also at 15 degrees. And Sagittarius rules the courts and legal matters and long-distance travel, foreign countries and higher education and international organizations. But it is possible that a legal matter, Leo, now could be reviewed and set right in one way or another, and it would be to your benefit. And so if you are questioning something, you might go back and ask for a second opinion on something, because that might work out better for you and allow you to make a new start, because these planets are all trining the sign of Aries. So I would say you've got a lot going for you right now, Leo, and a lot more energy or determination or sharper focus as well. And if you just don't go overboard and get too extravagant, you'll do fine. But you could, so you need to watch the money a little bit, because the exalted moon and Uranus are in Taurus, and they are squaring the sun and Mars in your sign. So you could sort of go overboard, and this would not be a good time to do that. So try to keep your hands in your pocket a little bit and save some money, Leo, if you can. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a great time for you because, oh boy, there are 4 very strong planets trining your sun sign. And that is because that exalted moon and Uranus in Taurus are both trining your sun sign, and Saturn and Pluto, which are conjuncting in Capricorn, are trining your sign as well. And Venus, the love planet, is conjuncting your ruler, Mercury, in Cancer, and they are sextiling your sun. So you are going to have some sort of second chance, Virgo, to start over in a family matter in some way, or get a second chance at better terms on a real estate deal. Or there is the possibility that either you are going to have a brilliant solution to a financial situation, or somebody else's brilliant idea is going to benefit you. That could help you as well. And also it means that if you are somewhat agreeable to working hard, doing some prep work, or redoing something in order to get better results, that too will profit you very much, Virgo. So this is a good time for you to be very practical about your goals and how to reach them. Because remember, this is a very good problem-solving time, because the good outweighs the bad. So just remember that and don't give up on anything. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time when you can be a little bit caught between, once again, the pressures of home and family and the demands from work. And that is because there can be people around you that don't quite know what they want either. But what they're going to be able to do is get a second chance at something. And whether you agree with them getting that second chance or not, I don't know, because Venus and Mercury in Cancer are squaring your sun. So a family member may want to start over in some way. And, you know, I think if they're offering an olive branch or they want to do something, it's a little bit different, but at least they're trying. I hope you give them the benefit of the doubt. Or it can be that there has to be some extra work redone for your employer in a large corporation, or some government policy has to be reviewed, even a court decision could be reviewed. And you'd have to more or less wait on the results of that as well, Libra. And since there aren't any planets in air signs, it simply means you could be a little bit in a holding pattern right now. But remember, there are more solutions than challenges right now. So this is a very good time for you to just quietly work on doing some problem solving. Because, you know, if you're going to restart something, first you have to know what went wrong. So this is a good time maybe to just sit back and reflect and decide how to improve something and then get going on it. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a time, remember when I said because there is a trine in the water signs, that an impostor will be exposed and soon justice will follow, because more and more truth is coming out, and that families can decide to sort of start over again. And that would be a good idea. And all of those things could benefit you, Scorpio, because Venus and Mercury are conjuncting in Cancer, and they're trining your sun. And Neptune in Pisces is also trining your sun. But Mercury and Neptune are retrograde. And that means you do have to go back and think about something again. Or you have to, if there have been mixed messages and people haven't exactly been agreeing or getting along on things, maybe you could smooth something out right now, Scorpio. Maybe you can go ahead and improve your relationships. That would be a good way to go, because at the same time yours is a fixed sign, and oh boy, planets are moving into fixed signs right now, so you have to be cautious, particularly with money. And that is because Mars and the Sun in Leo are squaring your Sun, and Mars is your own ruler. And then Uranus and the exalted moon in Taurus are opposing your sun sign. So in a way you need to lay low, but at the same time, because of the strength in the water signs, you could mend a few fences and maybe heal some relationships, and I think that would be a good way to go right now. You would be successful at that, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Well, Sagittarius, this is a time when I think somebody else who is very energized may want to goad you into gearing up and starting something new. And I think it would be hard for you to refuse. And that is because the Sun and Mars in Leo are trining your Sun right now, where you have Jupiter. And Mars and Jupiter are at the same degree, the 15th degree. And together those three planets are all trining the sign of Aries. So you, Sagittarius, could be gearing up to make a new start. It might be somebody else's idea or suggestion, or they could sort of be pushing you into it, but still it could happen. Or you may be deciding, since Jupiter is retrograde, to go back and sort of rethink something that perhaps hadn't gotten off the ground before, but maybe you could look it over and decide what you could do about it now. Maybe restart it. And I think you would be successful at that. Remember, there's so many retrograde planets right now, 5 of them, and they're all encouraging us to go back and do something again or try something again. And there are so many solutions right now. There are so many strong planets in the heavens right now that you too can succeed, Sagittarius. Just try not to move too fast. Fire signs like to move fast, but you don't want to trip over yourself right now, Sagittarius. So go ahead and restart something as you gear up for a new endeavor right now that is aspected for success. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, oh boy, I think that you really are going to succeed, but it'll be after some hard prep work or after you redo something in order to get better results. So if you go back and restart something, that could be a good idea right now, Capricorn, because the exalted moon in Taurus is conjuncting Uranus in that sign, and they're both trining your sun sign where you have Saturn and Pluto, which are also conjuncting. So if you're going to gear up to start something new or restart something, remember there's retrograde planets in your sign. It may be something that has to do with your health. It might be that you feel like you really want to resolve a health issue right now. Well, you could. It would take extra work, but you could do it. Also, it can be that some sort of brilliant financial solution comes out of nowhere, and that could really help you with your investments, either buying or selling them. So that could work out as well. So you just need to stay real practical and focus on problem solving right now, because the good outweighs the bad. And if you're at all worried about family matters, since Venus and Mercury in Cancer are opposing your sun sign, I would suggest that you sort of sit back for right now and let other people make the kind of new start they want to make, rather than you trying to give them advice right now. Why don't you just let them go out on their own and see how they do? I bet you they might surprise you and do okay. All right, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is a time when, just like Scorpio, you need to be real careful because there are more planets moving into the fixed signs, and that's what yours is. But yours is also an air sign, and there are no planets in the air signs. There's no fortification at all. And your sign has the exalted moon and Uranus in Taurus squaring it, and Uranus is your own sun sign ruler. But also, the Sun and Mars in Leo are opposing your sun sign. And that simply means there could be somebody very jealous around that almost sort of was thinking of attacking you in one way or another, Aquarius. So you need to keep your guard up right now, and you need to sort of withdraw if you can. That's because there's no support in the air signs, but it's also for your own protection. Because both Uranus and Mars are malefic planets, they could get you in trouble, particularly if you overspend. And it could also be if you are speeding or if you're going fast in any way, that would tend to harm you right now, Aquarius. So I hope you slow down a little bit and backtrack and think about restarting something. But first of all, you got to go back and figure out what went wrong the first time so that you can redo it and get better results now. You could do that quietly. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a time when I think that, families get a second chance at something right now, or they can start over because Venus is conjuncting Mercury in Cancer, the sign of families and home and real estate, and they are both trining Neptune in your sun sign, which is great. So it simply means that, if you're a little bit shy about asking for forgiveness for something, or if you want to try something new and you want to get going on something, this is a time, Pisces, when you should speak up. This is a good problem-solving time. And this is a time when others are ready to sort of forgive and forget and let things heal up. And you could have a second chance at something. Or it can be that if a family matter or a member wants to start over, it could work out right now, particularly with your blessing. And so I think that, you know, if you just slow down and you are able to sort of ease up on things right now and sort of relax, I think things will work out really well for you and your family. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show, read our blog, and hear our podcast on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.